Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early, 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I just realized I still got my gloves on. These things are like part of my body. I was in the middle of my workout and I was going through the video in my head as I worked out, and I forgot to take them off. I've actually gotten in the shower before with these on, but I'll save that for another video. Okay, today's video. It's the current situation, what is transpiring in Uvalde, Texas right now as things move forward. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. As usual, I'm going to try to use empathy to try to understand and try to get my own opinion of what's happening there. Okay, so what is happening? According to, from all accounts, the journalists, the photographers that are there to cover the story have been being kind of physically moved back and pushed away and intimidated by the biker clubs. They prefer to call themselves biker clubs. Honestly, I look at them as gangs. They have the patchwork and all that stuff. Their colors. I mean, you can call it what you want, but it is what it is. So anyway, from these bikers that are kind of physically pushing back the photographers and the reporters from getting anywhere near where these services are being held. So this is a tough one, because I understand this is a sensitive thing and a sensitive time. I can't even imagine being in the position of these grieving parents. But like I said, I tried to use empathy. Honestly, I'm a little suspicious that the police would get involved and try to use a third group or third party to do their. It looks to me like doing their dirty work, because the police already look bad, extremely bad in this whole thing, and now the fact that, according to the bikers themselves, that they were asked to come there by the police to intimidate or push back the reporters. It's not a good look. All right. So I tried to use empathy. The last funeral I went to wasn't all that long ago, and it was very personal. For those of you that don't know, my best friend, my ex-girlfriend, my very first girlfriend from third grade, all of those, the same person. She passed away last August 5th from COVID-related pneumonia. And about a month later, I went to her funeral. And honestly, I admit, I was a mess. When I saw her picture and everything, I lost it. I couldn't stay there too long. I was shaking, and it affected me hard. So I tried to put myself in their position. I understand that the parents down in Uvalde are, it's an even more draining situation. The brutality, the unexpectedness of all this and everything. It's even more intense, I would imagine. But I tried to put myself in their position. If I came out of her funeral last August 5th and just say, by using empathy, what if a bunch of journalists came up to me, snapping my pictures? How would I have felt? And to be honest with you guys, I probably wouldn't have taken it well. I wouldn't have taken anything well at that point. But I tried to think of this a little deeper. And the reason, the whole nation is watching right now. And I started thinking about the parents too, that if they gave it a little more thought about, I'm sure at first the photographers being there and the reporters being there, most of them aren't too happy about it. But I think if for their kids, that they would want the country to see the entire, what is playing out there from beginning to end, to understand it. It kind of looks like, honestly, what it looks like to me is the police are trying to make it go away as quick as possible with all this press coverage and them looking so bad and everything about the Second Amendment going on right now. To me, it looks like they're just trying to make it end as quickly as possible, to get rid of the reporters, the photographers, all the pictures and the stories ASAP. That's what it seems like to me. And I think that's the opposite of what should be happening right now. I started thinking of the importance of people seeing. These reporters don't have to get up in faces and ask questions and interrogate the parents at all. But I think it's important for the entire country to see
the impact, to see the faces. Like I said, when I left after Audrey's funeral, I can't imagine what I looked like. I think I actually did take a selfie with some family members that I saw there that day. And I didn't even recognize myself with the grief on my face. And I think it's important for the entire country to see, especially to see this right now. And I'm not talking about, like I said, I'm not talking about getting up in their faces and asking them stupid questions and stuff like that. But to see the impact, the toll that it's taking on these families. And again, it comes back to empathy. It's important for the entire country to see this right now so they can put themselves in those families' positions. Because for a lot of people, it happened somewhere else. You know, it's never going to happen here. You know, when it happened in Newtown, that kind of changed things for people around my area. But that's just part of human psychology. You know, well, it happened over there. It happened by, 100 miles away, thousands of miles away. And we quickly start thinking of something else. But I think it's important to get these pictures, to get the film, and actually see the grief, the toll that this is taking time and time again, so that the whole country can feel, as unpleasant as it is, they need to feel this. They need to feel this. It shouldn't be just swept under the rug and forgotten about, under the excuse of, providing comfort and safety for the families. Of course the families need comfort and safety, but I think it's important. It shouldn't be swept under the rug. That everybody across the country needs to have to see the pain and grief and sense of loss on these families' faces from beginning to end, to understand this horrific thing that just keeps happening over and over and over and over again. I think by sweeping it under the rug and just moving on to inflation or woke whatever, which is what the GOP and the right wing seems to want to do, I think it's important for the entire country to feel the pain from beginning to end that these parents are feeling. And honestly, I think like I said, I would be angry if photographers got up in my face. But if you think about it, it's better that the reporters are there showing the story, telling the story of their loss, as opposed to, let's just say, ignoring it. What if there was no photographers there? What if no reporters showed up there? What if they were just having the services and nobody seemed to really care? No photographers showed up. No reporters showed up at the services. I really don't think that would make the families feel any better. I think it would be worse. It's a hard thing. It's a hard question to answer, but I think the media plays an important role for the entire country to feel the sense of loss, the sense of grief. It's very important that this not be swept under the rug right now. And that's just my thoughts and my opinions. Let me know what you guys think. Have a great Monday.